Guru Nation, just got asked a really good question from my CRA Academy that I thought everyone could benefit from. In week 1, they are doing site selection visits and learning about site selection visits. And one of the students asked me, like, if you're in the industry, it's an obvious answer, but if you're not, this might be helpful. What does the CRA do at a site selection visit besides just read the slides? So obviously I did a whole video on site selection visits, but you do a site tour, you assess whether the PI and the staff are qualified, you make sure that they have the capabilities to do the study, you make sure they have the resources and the time to do the trial. That takes time. The PSV reports are very detailed. They're probably the most detailed reports of all of them. It's also the easiest visit to do, but the toughest monitoring visit report to complete. Now, when it comes to slides, so you guys can watch, like, I have like a 20-minute video and in the book, just PSVs, especially what monitors need to do and what sites need to know. When it comes to reading slides and letting the PI know about the protocol, remember, you are not yet training the site. This is a site selection visit. The site didn't yet say yes. The site said so far yes, but the site has not officially said yes. And how do they officially say yes? The PI has to sign the 1572, and the site has to have executed contract and budget, amongst other things. So you have to understand the context of this site selection visit, or the site selection visit in the context of the process in general. Because after the site selection visit comes the site initiation visit. That is when the site would have already had the contract and budget executed and negotiated, and the 1572 signed. So this is very important to understand. The purpose of the site selection visit is not to read slides or to educate the PIs or to train the PIs. The purpose is to ascertain two things. One, but more than two things. One, is the PI interested still after learning more about the trial from you? That does not mean you have to read slides verbatim. Please don't do that. You gotta go through the key inclusion-exclusion criteria and make sure that they still believe they can enroll the amount of patients that they said they could in the feasibility survey. You gotta remember, a lot of sites do these feasibility surveys without even looking at the protocol. So you gotta make sure those numbers they put on their feasibility survey are still accurate. If they're not, you have to correct them. You have to list reasons why the PI or the site believe they can enroll more or less. Happens all the time. Number 2, you got to make sure that the sponsor still wants to use that site. And there's no way for you to know that during the visit. But based on your site visit report from the site selection visit, the sponsor will have a better understanding of whether they want to use the site. Maybe the site has too many studies. Maybe the site has other competing studies. Maybe the site does not have enough resources. Maybe the site does not have experience in one particular assessment. Maybe the site is not interested. Maybe the site is located in a part of town that is not conducive to doing this. My side note here, it's rare, but I had a site that was in a high crime area in the past. And we had a controlled substance study, and the sponsor was not comfortable using my site. That's another podcast. It was definitely an underserved community, but it didn't meet the requirements from their security standpoint. So things like that happen. With experience, So please don't go into a site selection visit if you're a CRA and start reading slides. That's not the purpose of doing the site selection visit. The purpose is to make sure that the PI is still interested, that the recruitment projections are still correct, that the site exists, that the staff exists, that the staff is capable, that the site is capable. And then you gather all this information, send it to the sponsor vis-a-vis the site selection visit report, and they will make the ultimate determination. Worry about training and such at site initiation visit. Let me know what you think. I know I missed a lot. I'm trying to keep this short. Bye-bye.